Hello and welcome back to Berserker. We're going to be fighting against this guy. I'm not entirely sure why we are aggressive towards this fellow, because he's not actually, well, technically our faction is not at war against anyone, so I can only assume that we have attacked his minor faction in the past, and that has caused us to lose relation with them, and now as a result we are, well, in the doghouse with them, kind of. Anyway. If you missed the previous episode, you won't know why I have 195 HP, but I'd recommend checking it out because it is an absolutely amazing revelation that I had no idea about at the time, and now that I know about it, oh yes, please give me more of that, because I'm very much liking that, and the developers have made a fantastic decision in that regard, because, let's face it, you want those kinds of things. Oh yes, you want those kinds of things to really impact gameplay in a significant fashion. Hey, wait, oh, let's get him. Oh, he's running. He's running a bit too fast for me. Unfortunate. Oh well, never mind. Yes, anyway. The Southern Empire. Okay, Southern Empire obviously made peace. They obviously made peace due to their war exhaustion with the, who was it again? Wasn't the Azurai, right? No, it was the Khuzait. That's it. Yes, with the Khuzait. It's been a little bit of time since the previous episode, and I've just been running around attempting to recruit as many units as I can get my hands on, because obviously that is the #1 thing that I had to do. And I've leveled up a couple of them, and other times, otherwise I just need to level them up now. I've been doing a little bit of tasks in the Azurai territories, and now what I was actually planning on doing was leaving the Southern Empire, because obviously we're a mercenary, so we can basically just do whatever we so desire, whenever we desire it, and, well, just see if I can maybe join the Vlandians. Yes, the Vlandians might be something interesting. Now, the main reason why I say the Vlandians is because they are currently at war against a pretty significant amount of people. I think they're at war against 2 different factions, and they are losing pretty badly. So if we can actually make a difference in that regard, and we can actually do something to help them, then I think that's going to be pretty good for us, because we're going to get a good amount of experience. We're going to make a lot of money in the grand scheme of things as well, because just bear in mind that obviously we we'll be having a mercenary contract at that point again. And it's going to make a pretty significant difference. So I'm thinking, yeah, let's try it, shall we? Anyway, there's a hired blade taking him down. Let's try a nice... Oh, never mind. Okay, we've got to be careful about this two-handed axe user. He's going to be very, very tricky for us to deal with. Never mind, he's dead. Okay, thank you. Take him down as well. Hired blades. A bunch of hired blades this guy has. Not a big fan of those, got to say. Oh, he's even got a Battanian Fian champion, if you can believe it. Wow, that's pretty crazy. Anyway, I'm actually really very much enjoying using this two-handed axe. I'm actually really liking it, and it is apparently much, much better than a two-handed sword. I'm not entirely sure why that is. Maybe it's just because I'm getting a little bit luckier. Maybe it's just because maybe I'm a little bit higher level than I was last time, you know, because we have leveled up our athletic skill quite dramatically, and that has improved my movement speed and my mobility in general, and I'm able to get into range just that much quicker. Anyway, I think that's basically it, and now we can go zoom zoom and finish this up, and there we have it. Fantastic. There we are. Alright, so we ended up losing 14 units. Of course we are going to lose a couple of bear cubs and a couple of high tier units as well, but that's not actually that big a deal, because we just got 93 prisoners. We eliminated a vassal. We also took him prisoner too, which is fantastic. What is this? Wow. Okay, that is actually a fantastic weapon, even though it's rusty, hilariously enough. It is rusty, but just look at it. It's a tier 6 weapon. Its swing speed is the only thing that's kind of putting me off right now, but look at the length it has. The length is fantastic, 116, and it also has 110 swing damage. I'm going to use that. I never thought in a million years I would be finding a weapon that I could use from some random vassal out in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, never thought that would happen. Anyway, Let's see how much experience I'm going to get just by swapping a bunch of armor. Let's see. Oh, wow. We can take a lot. There we go. 8,500. See, now these are the kinds of battles we really want to get stuck into, because they are the ones that are really going to pay off dividends, leveling all of our forces up. Look at this. All of our bear soldiers are leveling up, and most of our bear cubs are leveling up as well. 45 people can level up right there. That's insane. That's really, really nice. Anyway, apart from that, we do have this to do. Farok has reached the age of 14 and he needs your guidance. So obviously, we're going to see what we can do about this. I'm thinking we'll probably like to follow in Uncle's footsteps, because technically he is our... wait a minute, not Uncle. He's not our nephew. He is our younger brother, isn't he? So I guess, follow in our eldest brother's footsteps, and we'll do, actually, should I? Wait a minute, is there two-handed? No. Okay, there's just one-handed at the moment. Okay, well, what if he's a duelist, actually? What if he becomes a duelist instead of a two-handed berserker? Because you can see here that a lot of his skills were focused on one-handed rather than two-handed. So I think this seems pretty nice. So let's just go for that. It's highly unlikely we're ever going to get an opportunity to control him anyway. So don't really need to worry about that just yet. Anyway, we're a little bit diminished now in terms of the amounts of units that I have. But I do have a lot of berserkers, as you can see right there. Anyway, alright. So I've taken a look at the kingdom's diplomacies and the various things that's going on in the world. And you can see here by the combat strength, the Southern Empire is doing all right. I feel like we ourselves have had a pretty significant impact on sustaining a lot of trouble for the Southern Empire and basically preventing a lot of their combat strength from being diminished. So I think we've done a pretty decent job with them. The Northern Empire is looking pretty good. The Khuzait's looking okay. The Western Empire is looking quite strong at the moment as well. Britannia, not so much. The Azerai, however, as you can see, they're looking very powerful. The Sturgians are looking awful, as they normally are. I was actually thinking of going and joining the Sturgians because I really do not want to be dealing with the Khuzait later on in the game. And then you have Vlandia. And Vlandia is not doing well either. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the kingdom. There we go. We've ended our mercenary contract, and I'm going to see what I can do about heading on over to Vlandian territory. I mean, we're right here, and there should be a bunch of vassals in the area, or at least I hope there will be a bunch of vassals that I might be able to speak to and then become a mercenary of, because they are currently at war against the Western Empire, which, again, I want to prevent them from doing anything. I really do want to prevent them from expanding their strength even further, and that's also the main reason why I'm joining the losing side. And that's also kind of I feel like it's kind of more interesting to join the losing side rather than to join the more powerful side. At least that's what I think. Anyway, let's see. I would like to enter the service. There we go. 230. Okay, 230 gold every single time we defeat an opponent that is an enemy of the Vlandians. So that's looking pretty nice. Wow, this guy is never going to be able to do this. Not in a million years. Good luck, sir. This has a literal defense of almost 500 units. There's no way this guy... Yeah, as you can quite clearly tell. There's no way this guy was going to do anything. And now he's running away. I'm going to shadow him. Okay, we're going to shadow him a little bit. I'm just going to wait here for us. Ah, yeah, they obviously already recruited from there. I won't never mind. Yeah, so obviously the Britannians, they're probably going to be making peace very soon because the war exhaustion is just way too large. But the Western Empire is going to be something that we can potentially do something against. Now, I'm going to shadow them for a little bit of time because I would like, if possible, to tackle a bunch of vassals from this army. There are 5 vassals from here, so if I can tackle at least 2 of them, I will be pretty happy with that. Unfortunately, they are showing themselves to be pretty resourceful, and they seem to be quite resilient to any kind of cohesion decrease or food deficiency or anything like that. So that might be a bit problematic. Oh, wait a minute, wait a minute. Okay, not too bad. Okay, yeah, a lot of Landian vassals were freed because of this peace declaration with the Britanians. So that's obviously great. I've got to be really careful about dealing with this guy. If he engages us, we will have some big problems. Yeah, let's be very, very careful. Okay, Melody... Oh, now that would have been fantastic. Unfortunately, the war exhaustion was pretty bad there. Oh, hello there. Calatilt. Calatilt, come on. Let's do this. Look at this. Okay, now there's a big siege going on here. Okay, Calatilt, I'm ready to back you up. I'm ready to back you up. Oh, Gyarios' army is coming in as well. This is really bad. Okay. Okay, we're going to have to do an auto-resolve here. We're going to have to do an auto-resolve because, as I've said before, I cannot go into big battles without it crashing. I mean, should I... You know what? I'm going to save just because I don't want to have a crash and then for me to have a rollback all the way, but I really do want to go into this battle manually. I think if I were to auto-resolve, it is going to result in just so much more death on our side, and we really do not want that, especially with Gyarios' army right next door to us. We really want to make a good stand here and see what happens. So let me see if I can maybe move our forces into a good position. How many Berserkers do I even have? I think I have quite a few. Yes, I have 49 Berserkers and 10 Noble Super Bears. So that should be not bad. You know, that should be pretty good. Should be alright. Anyway, let's just see what happens. I mean, my guys are all the way over here. And I don't think I'm controlling the entire army. No, it is not me. The AI is controlling most of them. I don't have any cavalry on the battlefield at all. So it is going to be up to my AI friends to do their very best in commanding them. So I just have to make sure that my own forces are protected as much as they possibly can be, because they are the ones that are most likely going to achieve victory for us in the end. So if I can keep their survival rate at a high ratio, then we should be absolutely fine. Now, the one thing that I'm going to look to do here in this battle is eliminate the enemy vassals. If I can eliminate the enemy... Ooh, we took out his horse. That was nice. And we killed him. Fantastic. Okay, now, that was obviously just an Imperial Elite Cataphract, so it's nothing really that good. But bear in mind that those Imperial Elites, they do so much damage, and they are such a big threat that it's a really good idea to eliminate those early on. Okay, we're losing a lot of people. Oh, what the... Are you serious? That was hilarious. Okay, come on now. Get him. Get him. I'm just going to kill the horse if I can. I mean, I don't really like doing that, to be honest. That is something that is a complete waste of my energy. But generally, it is something that needs to be done just to get the rider off, to be honest. Just get the rider down on the ground and just to try and deal as much damage as possible to them. Hello there. Let's do some damage. Yeah, this is not good. Dealing with this guy, kind of problematic. Nice. Bear in mind that obviously this is a different axe than what I was using beforehand, so this is actually really much better for dealing with cavalry. Let's move these guys over here. Gonna need to move my Berserkers into a little bit more effective range. Unfortunately, this is proving to be very difficult for my allies' forces, as you can see there. Oh no, actually we're doing okay. Oh, we're doing much better than I thought. Okay, not too bad. Oh, there's so many cavalry riding around me right now. I'm kind of scared. This is bad. Oh, nice. That was some nice damage. Get him. Get that guy. Yes. We knocked him off his mount, I think. Yes, they are all charging into our line, and that is absolutely what we want them to do. Every single time there is an opportunity for them to charge into our lines, they should very much want to do that. Thank you very much. That is just an absolute Huge mistake. Oh. Yeah. It crashed. Okay, so now you see in the kill log at the top there, there's nothing going on. The only thing that I did was I told my forces to charge in. And then it crashed. So I assume it has something to do with RTS camera. Is that true? I think it has something to do with RTS camera, unfortunately. That's definitely something that I'm very disappointed about because I love having the opportunity to switch my character to someone else, some random on the battlefield. That really makes a huge difference to the whole, you know, enjoyment factor of the game. But unfortunately, it seems like I might have to disable it just so that we can see whether that is indeed the problem. Alright, so this time around we don't have that many more infantry than we had beforehand. We actually have less. We have 66. Before we had 71. So I'm not entirely sure why that even happens, to be honest, because this is exactly the same battle that we were in beforehand. And it just so happens that they've given me less units to command myself. I really don't know why that would be. But anyway, I have disabled RTS camera and its command system, and we're going to see whether that actually has an effect, because it seems like as soon as I gave an order, that was the crash. That initiated the whole thing. So hopefully that is indeed it. I mean, I don't want it to be, obviously, but I really wanted to try and figure out what was going on. And the game, I don't know why the game is like that sometimes, because some of the time it's the most stable thing in the world, and other times it literally feels like it is the most fragile stability that you're ever going to see. And it's kind of sad, to be honest, because the game is really good and it would just be nice to have a little bit more stability in that regard. Anyway, it seems like the enemy is just literally staying back right here. This is a completely different strategy than what they used last time. Very strange, right? I guess that shows the depth of the AI's strategy, and generally shows exactly what can happen is if the circumstances are changed. You know, if they are given the opportunity, they will do something completely different, which is actually fantastic. I like seeing that. That's something very cool, because that means that the AI is not bound to the same stuff every single time, which I very much like. Okay, come on now. Oh, no, never mind. Okay, that was an instant crash. Instant crash. So it is not RTS camera, and I have no idea what it is. Alright, so it looks as though we are going to need to auto-resolve this. The only other option I have is to leave, and personally, I don't want to auto-resolve this. As you could see in the first battle that we had before the first crash, we were actually doing fine. I feel like we were doing really nicely, so nicely in fact, that I think we would have won that battle without any issues whatsoever, and I probably would have not even lost more than 20, maybe 30 units to death. So I'm going to do an auto-resolve here. Really don't want to do this. Things are not going well. Yeah. Okay. We won. I mean, obviously, we had such significant number advantage that it's kind of weird to assume that we would lose, but there you go. Okay, so now this is obviously another reason why I did this, because we now get the opportunity to take a whole bunch of people prisoner, which is fantastic, and also, you know, regular prisoners as well, not just vassals. But we do get regular prisoners too, which is obviously fantastic. And of course, we do get a lot of experience as a result of that. We get a lot of loot too. Look at how much experience my units are going to get. It's super nice. So I'm just going to take all the shields that I can. Going to take all the javelins and all that stuff. And then we're just going to basically leave the rest. I mean, I might as well just take a look and see if there's anything good here. And as you can see, it even has a readout and tells you how much experience each one of these things gives to your unit. So for example, this pair of braces or gauntlets right here, that gives 300 donation experience. Pretty cool. I like that. Anyway, there you go. Okay, so we did end up losing a few units, but generally I think that was worth it, even though it was an auto-resolve, and definitely something that I never really want to do on a daily basis or that often. But some of the time you're just forced into it, you know? Some of the time you just have to do it because otherwise you just can't get past it because it's crashing. And I really have no idea why that would be the case. I really don't, because as I said, I disabled RTS camera. I've now re-enabled it. And I didn't think it was actually that in the first place, but I thought, oh, well, I ordered someone around and then immediately it crashed. Well, I thought maybe the command system was the reason, causing some problem, but no, it wasn't. So, I have no idea. I have no idea what it could be. But yeah, anyway, we're going to try and see if I can maybe do some additional damage to the Western Empire. I'm going to go over here to the small... I don't know. I'm thinking this gap right here would be really good to prey upon people. Oh, hello there. Do you think I can actually help us win? I don't know. I feel like it's highly unlikely. Because look at this. I mean, 715 plus... I mean, we have more combat strength. So generally it is... I think it might be worth it. I think it might be worth it. So we're going to go in and we're going to help. We're going to do an auto-resolve again. Even though I really don't want to do that. Look at that. We lost 18 Berserkers as a result of that. And it is really not very... Well, shall we say, it's not very satisfying to do an auto-resolve. I mean, obviously that's not the developer's fault in any way. And I'm not blaming them at all. But the game is crashing. So obviously that is a bit of a problem. But yeah, generally... If it wasn't crashing, I'd be doing all of these fights manually, and it would be so cool to go in there and, try to survive and everything, because I do have a significant amount of HP now. So, obviously, I can survive all these really crazy situations. Unfortunately, I now have a significantly small army. Yes, I do. Look at that. Well... Most of my people are knocked unconscious, so obviously that is a bit of an issue, but yeah. Otherwise, let's just sell our prisoners. And we do get a lot of loot as well, which I think is pretty nice. So there you go, another 14,000. And we're making a lot of cash, and you can see our mercenary contract is paying off quite nicely too. And I guess that's basically all I can do, unfortunately. I guess we'll just have to stick to smaller battles and maybe 1 versus 1s, because maybe there's a bit of a conflict with multiple vassals being in the same battle for some reason. I have no idea why that would be the case, but oh, hello there. A rebel faction has risen up in Vlandia. I mean, obviously that's not really my... where is that even? I can't even see that. That's kind of strange. I have no idea where that is, but yeah, there it is. So yeah, you can actually see that technically you could join this faction if you wanted to. If you were a vassal, I think. A faction is a group of clans in a kingdom with a common goal. If a faction gains enough support, they will begin a civil war. If the rebels win the war, their demand will be upheld. If the loyalists win, the rebel clans will return to the kingdom. Victorious clans will gain influence and relations with their fellow victors. Defeated clans will lose influence. Clans may start a faction by spending influence. Yeah, so generally, if they want to, and if they are able to, they might be able to do something, but it's highly unlikely. Highly unlikely at this point. Anyway, I think that's probably going to be it for this episode. I actually wanted to play for a lot longer, but as it stands... I'm going to need to go and recruit some more people because we lost so many in the auto-resolve and there's not much more I can do right now. But I did level up, so maybe we should spec a little bit more into leadership. And that reminds me, I am going to see what I can do about getting... Yes, I will go to Cyronea and I will see if I can get my brother to join us. And then maybe he can create his own party full of bear units. And we'll see what we can do about creating our own army and roaming around with a much larger party. But again, we've got to be careful about those crashes. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.